Hello. Today I want to talk some more about God consciousness. Maharishi's teaching on God consciousness is very beautiful and very moving. God consciousness develops from the platform of enlightenment, holding two states of consciousness simultaneously. Consciousness of self alongside consciousness of the relative field, the waking, dreaming, or sleeping. Being established in your self develops in time when you have a meditation practice that transcends the relative field, that uncovers self. It is necessary to be established in yourself such that you and your awareness is of divine being that is yourself, that is the field of the Absolute. So union with self in your meditation practice is union with divine being. It is union with universal God, being that is the field of the Absolute. When that union with universal God is permanent in the first stage of enlightenment, then there is a need to know who the Creator is that created this magnificent world, the infinity of universes with all the different planes of existence that make up the relative field. The personal God draws the devotee to themselves. Now, the personal God might be Buddha, might be Christ, or Krishna, or Maharishi. And the personal God that is the supreme being of all of the created world, begins to draw the devotee. The devotee's heart is cultured in love, is cultured in the love of the personal God. And this love begins to overflow into all of the created world. The perceptions of the devotee become very refined such that all perceptions are of the celestial faintest impulses of creation. The faintest impulses that are the perceptions of the personal God. Every perception is of God made manifest here in the world. So the first cognition of God, divine being, universal God, then develops into the qualities of the heart with the love of the personal God, and then develops into the qualities of the mind on the level of thinking, and then to the level of perception, where all perceptions are of God here in the world. God consciousness is consciousness of being alongside the celestial relative. Celestial relative, where every perception is the perception of one's personal God. This is God consciousness, living God here in the world. As God consciousness continues to develop, the devotion and worship of the devotee dissolve, and there is consciousness of God alone. All beings are seen in the self, and the self is seen in God. The consciousness of divine being alongside the celestial relative consciousness dissolves into one consciousness alone, the consciousness of God. And God is lived here in the world. Every experience is of God alone. This is God consciousness, and it is the fulfillment of creation and the purpose of creation, to gain God consciousness. Thank you, beloved Guru. All glory be to thee.